So, newjeans, a girl group that literally came out of nowhere and is currently one of the monster rookie girl groups of 2022. Granted, they had Ador backing them up, which is under hybe, but for them to make this much noise despite being a very laid-back and simple group is quite interesting. Newjeans, in my opinion, have really great music, but they also have a consistent image and aesthetic that makes the group very marketable to both the Gen Z TikTok international audience and also the South Korean public. So yeah, let's talk about it. Newjeans officially debuted on August 1st, 2022, but their first MV dropped prior to that on July 22nd. The group consists of 5 members: Minji, Hani, Daniel, Haerin, and Haein. Minji, Haerin, and Haein are all Korean. Daniel is Korean-Australian, and Hani is Vietnamese-Australian. Hani's case is especially interesting because we don't have that many well-known Vietnamese K-pop idols. The oldest member was born in 2004, and the youngest in 2008, so their ages range from 14 to 18, and every member minus the 2 oldest are minors. This of course has caused a lot of controversy, and I've been very vocal on my channel about how I don't like minors in K-pop debuting, but if the music is good, I just don't see a reason why I can't listen to it, at least. Like, I don't have to give them money, like I can just listen to it on YouTube for free, you know? Okay, moving on. So Ador, the label they are under, is under hybe. Oh my god, that can get a little confusing. But yeah, this label was created by Min Hee-jin, who has a very illustrious career for her art direction as a visual director at SM. I will say she is a bit controversial, and I will touch on that a little later on, but you have to admit that newjeans' concept is very Y2K, but it's also catered to the Gen Z audience from their simplistic makeup looks and natural straight long hair, and their music is also very early 2000s inspired, and so it really makes newjeans stand out when every other girl group seems to debut with noisy EDM heavy girl crush, and their makeup is also very bold and colorful. Their name newjeans, which, let's be real, I personally don't care for as a name, actually has a decent meaning. It alludes to jeans, yeah, the thing we wear, yeah, which is considered a timeless fashion statement, and so the group too wants to have a timeless image for themselves. It also plays on the phrase new jeans, referring to the group bringing in a new generation of pop music. What I find really interesting about newjeans and their success is that none of the members came from a survival show like Kepler. None of the members were in previously famous groups like Les Seraphim and IVE. So their success is just much more interesting and something that I really wanted to study, and how they were marketed to, be this successful. And I feel like this all boils down to Ador's unique strategy. So what happened is that on July 21st, Ador dropped the MV for Attention on hybe's YouTube channel, and this really helped people get excited for the group. Instead of revealing members, teasers, and then an MV, the approach they went with is releasing their MV first and also revealed the group's name through that, and then every track on the album received a music video, and Hype Boy, one song that I truly love, received multiple music videos, that too from the POVs of the different members. It's like Ador was really trying to sell newjeans to us through the music and the MVs and also the aesthetics. Of course, there are allegations against Min Hee-jin, and I personally don't support this woman, but I can't talk about newjeans' concept music or style without mentioning her because she is the brains behind everything. Like, it's how I feel about JYP. Like, I don't like the guy, but he knows how to make bops. Like, I cannot deny it. I can't deny it. Okay. According to Min Hee-jin, this is what she had to say: "I don't like formulas. To me, a fun culture is one without formulas. Teasers are supposed to incite curiosity, but after some point, I felt like it just became a custom. Since newjeans was already receiving a lot of attention, I didn't feel the need for teasers." So the concept that she wanted to display was the music itself, and she also wanted the music video to highlight the different strengths of the newjeans' members and also their music, and not knowing about the members would definitely make people rewatch the music videos several times just so they can just pinpoint what members. I think that's a really smart move because that's exactly what I did to learn newjeans. I just kept rewatching the music videos trying to piece together who is Haein, which one is Hani. Sometimes I would genuinely get confused between Hani and Haein, and I would completely forget about Haerin. And that's because they intentionally styled each member very differently in each MV. So it's not like you can identify one specific member due to their hair color or one particular outfit or anything like that. According to Min Hee-jin, a good concept isn't just defined by one factor, and it's something that makes you feel very complex feelings and attracts you, and that is what truly makes a great concept. And she envisioned newjeans to be a very whimsical group and make them stand out in K-pop. Now, a lot of people think that by whimsical, people think it means like magical and mystical, and I also thought that for the longest time, but actually whimsical means playfully, quaint, or fanciful, especially in an appealing and amusing way. So it's not necessarily magical. Like for the longest time, I don't know why I thought it meant magical, but it's not, so there's that. Okay, moving on. So the first song that we got introduced through newjeans is Attention, and the song is very clean and groovy, and it's just a very pleasant sounding song. I remember the first time I heard the song, and you know, when the chorus dropped, I was like, wow, this song sounds familiar in the sense that it reminded me of Vigi, God, what's the name of the song? That song by Gravity. It reminded me of that song by Gravity. And so even if it was like a very familiar sounding song, at the same time, to me, it was like, wow, this is a very different song, especially for gen girl groups. So there's that. And the music video, it shows a bunch of teenagers going to a live music show and them doing their makeup in the bathroom and smudging lipstick into the mirror. And it just adds like a layer of relatability. And I feel like the whole music video, not just this one, but also the Hype Boy music videos, were there to highlight the ideal teen girl experience. And of course, you have Minji, the oldest, and also I don't know, I don't think they have official positions, but she is having fun, but then she gets a call from her mother, which is so relatable when you're just hanging out with your friends. Your mom wants to know what you're up to, and then she bumps into a boy who has been checking her out, and the girls constantly throughout the music video, they're on their phones, they're reading books, so they're just having fun being on Zoom, which is like a reference to our Zoom culture during the pandemic, and they're just dancing together, trying on clothes, makeup, doing their own little runway, drawing with the lipstick, and it's all done intentionally to show us this image that New Girls is going to portray, which is just teenage girls being teenage girls. And their concept, it just makes me and makes so much of us nostalgic about our youth, or just wanting that kind of youth for ourselves. So rather than the music video having very expensive and bold sets, this MV highlights the girls just being pretty Gen Z teenage girls, which, let's be real, we all want to be someday. The fans even praised this music video and the concept for their simplicity and not having this perfect image that most K-pop groups just tend to shove down your face. And I feel like because of newjeans' relatability to being an actual teenager is what really drew people to them. And then of course you have Hybe Boy. I feel like this one has definitely taken the South Korean public by storm. Hybe Boy has electro and synths going on with it with a very light beat, and also similar to the Attention MV, it's very youthful and playful. You have the members brushing their teeth, playing video games, and all of the members, they're like giving like very diverse love interest. Could be intentional in the sense that they're trying to cater to a much more international audience, but just like the Attention MV, this has a much more Y2K aesthetic look to it. Y2K as in early 2000s for those of you who might not be aware of it. And it's just, and you also have the text on the screens and them playing video games, and it just invokes a lot of nostalgia and relatability through their music and aesthetics. And of course, when you get the POVs of each different members, it's just your way of getting to know the members. Then you have the music video for Hurt, and this one is, I would say this feels like a very last minute music video. They were like, oh, we have one song in the album, let's just give it a music video, because why not? And it's very simplistic, like even more simplistic than Attention and Hybe Boy. Like it's just a close-up of all the girls' faces, like none of the flashy animation, text, or storylines from the previous ones. And it's like a very okay music video. It just shows newjeans in a much more raw and emotional state, if anything. And of course, how can we not talk about this one? Like, this one is the bane of my existence. Cookie. I can't believe this is considered their official debut, because what the actual fuck? This whole song and concept is just a misfire in my opinion. It's the only thing about newjeans I just don't like. Again, it's not the girls' fault, it's Ador's. So let's dive into it, even though I don't really want to. So the song Cookie, it alludes to if you know, you know. And I feels very sorry for the girls that they had to sing this kind of song. And I know that Ador is trying to gaslight fans into thinking that no, you're just misinterpreting it. But let's be real, K-pop is very, very sanitized. And so every time a song about food drops. Think Cream by EXID or Ice Cream by Red Velvet, which also is a meme Heejin was involved in, like, and Ice Cream by Blackpink. It's like those songs, they're technically about food, but they have very sexual undertones to them, and it's very obvious they're not just singing about food. So a whole song where the newjeans girls talking about one of their reproductive organs, it's very icky, and I personally don't vibe with it. Like, if the members were not minors, if they were like 20 plus, I could have gotten behind this song and I wouldn't have minded it, because the music in MV, it showcases a much more bolder side of newjeans. But again, it contradicts the previous image in Hype Boy Attention and Hurt they've displayed, which they're like young girls, young teenage girls having young love and all of that. So I just don't get why we need this mature, bolder image. Of course, this is just speculation on my part. It's not fact, but maybe this was another attempt at marketing the group. Like, let's be real, any publicity is good publicity. So it could have been a form of rage marketing, but at the same time, or it could just be that, they're like really stupid to think that we wouldn't catch on the lyrics. So that could also be that. Or also this song could have been a way to market, newjeans to the uncle fans, the people who are very inappropriate with children. So if you catch my drift, you know what I mean. So there's that. Now let's talk about the fashion and makeup of newjeans. Now, Y2K is definitely not a new concept in K-pop, but I feel like the way newjeans does it is truly unique and interesting and eye-catching and just refreshing, and something that I just keep on looking at. So the girls, they have your Y2K hair, and defining features of Y2K hair include butterfly clips, hair tendrils, highlights, side braids, colorful rubber bands. As for their outfits, it's very eclectic, mismatched, colorful styling. Granted, this can be a very tricky thing to do, because in KCON Japan, the girls got roasted because they were wearing outfits that embodied the worst trends from the Y2K era, and a lot of people thought that the outfits looked very unappealing. But I will say that the outfits for the stage outfits and also the outfits in the music video were really put together, and I really did like it. And it's not just Y2K, but it also aligns itself with Gen Z trends. And of course, there are certain outfits that really stand out in NewJeans' concept, which include the sports jersey, which I think Minji went viral for wearing. Like, it's cool and sporty, and it really looks good for their debut MV for Attention. And some of the pieces were changed up to be made into crop tops, and there were also cutouts to the sport jerseys, and they're like very bright colors that really work well with the group's vibrant personalities. Also, you cannot talk about NewJeans without mentioning jeans. Like, for some of their stage outfits, they also had like denim outfits that are very minimal and classy looking. I will say these outfits are not my absolute favorite, but I definitely see the appeal. Like, it looks good on them, I will say that. And of course, you have their preppy looks, which is also one of my absolute favorites. I feel like these outfits had to go more with the bold image they're trying to portray with Cookie, and it's their outfits, it just ranges from being bold to fun, and I really like that about NewJeans. And I feel like some of my favorite outfits were definitely this one that Minji wears. Like, oh my god, it's interesting that NewJeans, despite portraying the ideal teenage experience, they are like really popular idols that have attracted brands such as Chanel, L, GQ. But another thing that makes NewJeans look at least relatable, despite the fact that the girls themselves are like really popular idols, is their minimal yet eye-catching makeup that is very age appropriate and easy for fans to copy. So the thing is that when you have other girl groups such as Twice, Red Velvet, Blackpink, aespa, their makeup is very bold and colorful, and it's there to make the members look very expensive. But the thing about NewJeans' makeup is that they have a pure base, which is also accompanied with nude and muted color, and they also have a lot of blush on their face, which has really stood out to me personally. The thing is that their makeup is just very clean, and it's very aesthetic and just precise looking, and their eyeshadow shade is also very similar to their blush and lip shade, elegant, almost natural. And NewJeans has the kind of makeup that other teenagers want to recreate. Like, I feel like I personally am not into makeup, but there are 2 times in my life that I've been really invested in makeup. First, when it came to Euphoria, and now with NewJeans. So that just says something. Of course, I got my information from this makeup analysis that this Korean beauty YouTuber did. Definitely check out their video for the full analysis of NewJeans' makeup. It's a very good video. I will link it down below. Other than makeup, the members also have healthy, natural, long hair. Like, none of them have dyed hair, which again makes them stand out, which is interesting because at first K-pop idols stand out because of their wild, colorful hairs, but newjeans stands out in the K-pop market by not having colorful hair. Like, it's like Minhyejin's direction is that whatever is popular in K-pop, let's not do that, okay? Let's give the audience something new and fresh. Now, it's no secret that newjeans' popularity has absolutely skyrocketed in South Korea. Like, your favorite K-pop idol is bopping to hybe right now as I speak, right now into this microphone. Of course, I have reiterated this point several times, but newjeans stands out in a good way from the heavy EDM noisy groups out there. And don't get me wrong, I love those EDM noisy groups very much, but I definitely vouch for variety of concepts in K-pop also. And also, I think one of the main reasons why newjeans was able to take off is because a lot of our favorite second and third gen girl groups have either disbanded or become inactive. So of course, there is demand for new girl group, and newjeans is definitely very eye-catching and very ear-catching. Also, that's not a real term, by the way. You have popular groups and idols such as Stray Kids, Luna, ITZY, and Hyphen, TXT, Somi, Chang'a, Jessie that have either sung their songs or have danced to hybe. And also, there's a viral video of On and Off members and SF9's In Song dancing to hybe while they're supposed to be serving the military. Like, it's literally my favorite video ever. I mean, SF9 is one of my old boy groups. The fact that In Song went viral for doing a girl group dance in the military is such an In Song thing. Like, I cannot stress it enough. So yes, the members do have a very popular labeling them back, but the fact that they have gotten the attention of the Korean public, and also you have these K-pop idols vouching for them and talking about how much they love newjeans and are like promoting them indirectly, really goes to show what an impact newjeans truly has. And of course, you have hybe that also took off on TikTok, especially with the choreography. And let's be real, if anybody wants to get famous nowadays, TikTok is the way to go, let's be real. And of course, let's talk about Minji being declared the nation's new next first love. Minji is my newjeans bias. I feel like she became my bias the moment I saw that viral video of her popping the bubble. So I think that really made Minji my bias. But honestly, it's like there are so many K-pop idols that are so beautiful. Like, honestly, it's like visual overload. But there's something about Minji that I just can't get enough. Like, she is such a beautiful girl. Like, many have cited Minji to be like the Korean version of Olivia Hussey. And I don't know if you know, but K-pop idols, they love Olivia Hussey. Olivia Hussey was even referenced in a Block B song, and I love Olivia Hussey as well. Like, Jess Bradford from Black Christmas is my favorite final girl, so there's that. Minji started getting popularity for her visuals after previews were released during newjeans' Music Bank arrival. Of course, you have her look with the jersey that also went viral. Her fan cams are doing numbers as well. And I feel like when it comes to the title Nation's First Love, many people think Bae Suzy. I think she's the most popular idol with that title, don't quote me. And it's a title given to idols who are graceful, has lovely visuals, that have youthful glow and long dark hair. And of course, Minji is definitely somebody that a lot of netizens have been calling her that because they have been praising her classic beauty and clean look. I personally think Minji deserves to go down that route because her visuals are truly something like mesmerizing. There's some idols like, let's say, Irene or Minji or Twice's Geo that I look at them and I'm like, wow, how can a person be this beautiful? Whether they're like natural or not, I just cannot help but admire their beauty, okay? Of course, there are criticisms towards newjeans, their company, and also their CEO. Like, the lyrics for Cookie were very, very inappropriate, and it's literally the thing I just don't like about newjeans. And I swear, if Minhyejin pushes newjeans have comebacks that are very inappropriate, I just cannot see myself listening to the group or supporting them in the future. Like, doing it once, I don't know what to say, but doing it multiple times is just exploiting the girls. I'm not gonna be here for it, like, at all. Like, no, please don't go down that route. Please stick to the Y2K aesthetic, youthful, pure type of image they're going for, especially given the fact that the girls are minors. The members are very young, and 3 of them are minors. And the youngest is 14, so of course there is concern about middle-aged men and attending their fan signs and them having like really, really weird fans to deal with, especially at a young age. And I have never been a fan of minors in K-pop, but it's like I can just talk about how I don't like it, but it's like I can't do anything about minors not debuting in K-pop. Like, and it voiced the issue, but it's like I just don't know if it's ever gonna stop. So there's that, because this has been going on for ages now. Okay, as much as I don't like Min Hee-jin, she did do a great job of marketing newjeans and making them stand out by having a distinct, clean image, minus that one thing, if you know, you know, Min Hee-jin. A lot of us are getting tired of non-stop girl crush, so newjeans is refreshing and a group that is definitely worth checking out. However, as much as I love their concept, style, and music, there are still issues with the members being minors and possibly being exploited and sexualized in future releases, especially given the fact they've been done so in Cookie. And it's just a weird thing to present the members in a pure image, but then also later on in a sexual kind of image. Like, it just gives me the ick. It absolutely freaking does. Anyways, newjeans are a very visually pleasing and sounding group, and I hope they continue dominating. But yeah, I really like newjeans. The members are very talented. Like, I love watching their live stages. They're very lively, especially Daniel and Honey. So yeah, okay, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and next video essay will be on Les Seraphim. Really excited on that one. Okay, bye. I'm losing my voice. Okay, bye.